Well, we were pleased when Connor indicated that he would like very much to be a part of the memorial service for Ed. Each of our grandchildren were to be part of it, and our children. And so Connor was sort of woven into the family scheme of things. And the service was held in the chapel at the nearby Deerfield Episcopal Home for Seniors. Connor did not have a suit, and I said to him, let's see if I don't have a jacket that you could wear of Ed's. The jacket fit him perfectly. Then Ed had a pair of trousers that matched the jacket. Connor put the pants on, they fit him perfectly. So he was done up with a tie and a shirt and a suit. So he looked very presentable to being up in the pulpit giving his message. Well, following the memorial service, we were all gathered here in the living room. And Connor said, you know, we need some music. Well, he said, do you have a guitar? And I said, no. Becky's husband, can't think of his name for the minute, Keith Mendelson. He liked to play the guitar after a fashion, but nothing has come as official as Connor can do it. He said, well, why don't we go and see if we can't rent one? Now, this was on late Saturday afternoon. In fact, I think it was on Sunday. And so they scrambled around and they found there was a shop in West Asheville where they could go and rent a guitar. Well, instead of just renting the guitar, they decided, we'll just buy it. So they came home very happily with the guitar. And from then on, it was nothing but guitar music for the evening. He played everything under the sun, from South Pacific to the Battle Hymn of the Republic. We all sang. We didn't always know the words, but we knew the tune. And we had a wonderful evening of music.
Yeah. And now, who is Becky?
Becky is our second daughter, who lives in McLean, Virginia. Her husband, Keith, is Jewish, and he has always participated in our gatherings. Christmas time comes, he knows all the carols. And he's always been very supportive of the Christmas tree for Becky's benefit.
And so how many children do you have?
We have 4 children. We have 3 daughters and 1 son.
Okay.
Janet, who lives in Asheville, just within a stone's throw of our house.
And she's the first. She's the oldest.
She's our oldest. Parker is her husband.
Yeah.
He is a chemist and works for Kirchhoff, which makes very sophisticated instrumentations for military vehicles. Then there is Rebecca, and she is married to Keith Mendelson. She is a lawyer with Unisys, which is a government agency. And she has 3 children, twins, Daniel and Hannah and Lydia. Daniel, when Ed died, happened to be in South Asia, in Thailand, and he called and spoke to his grandfather before he died. And Daniel had a wonderful experience of 3 months over there backpacking. He went to Cambodia, to Laos, and to Vietnam, and had an extremely interesting experience. And then there was our son Alan, was 3rd in line, and he works for Prudential. He's a vice president in charge of overseas investments in real estate and for large pensions. And he has been quite successful. As his father says, I don't know where that came from. And then there is Jane, our youngest, who is tall and statuesque. And she too is a lawyer, and her specialty is American Indian law.
Yes, you're
And
telling me
she
about
presently is the research worker in the Library of Congress.
Right.
And so we have 3 wonderful children.
Now, this Mexico connection that Janet was talking about,
Janet has one daughter.
Okay.
Who was a Spanish major in her undergraduate work.
And this is Priscilla? Did I get the name right?
She works now in Washington.
But that's the name, correct? Did I get her name right?
Amelia.
Amelia. Oh, that's
Amelia.
Amelia.
Yes.
Okay.
And she is, surprising everybody in that office. She's only 24, but she is being thrust into a position of leadership. Not that that is what she wants to make her career of.
Yeah.
She hasn't quite decided what she wants to do.
Well, 24. Then, was there a second Mexico connection that she was mentioning, or just that they visited when Amelia...
Then Parker has an aunt who had married a Mexican man.
That was
it. And she had a daughter. I think just one daughter by that marriage.
And they were the ones that lived near Puerto Vallarta?
Yes, that's right.
And how recently have they returned? Here
In
to
the last States? 6 years.
Oh,
they've
okay.
returned, yeah. And we're living over in Hendersonville, but they found, as we had been warned a little bit by friends, that keep in mind everything you will want to do is in Asheville. So we didn't look beyond Asheville. But we did ask Janet and Parker's permission to move to Asheville, and their reply was, Mother and Dad, we wondered if you were ever going to come to your senses.
Okay, very good. And tell me about yourself and Ed. How did you meet?
Well, I am a graduate of McDonald College at McGill University. McDonald College was the ag campus and the home economic campus of McGill University in St. Anne de Bellevue. And my father graduated from there in 1914. And I and my 2 brothers graduated from McGill likewise, went to McDonald College.
Now, at that time, was McDonald only a women's college? Or?
No.
That was co-ed?
No, McDonald College was the college for the ag campus and for home economics.
Because I thought, okay, I'm totally mistaken then. I thought there was a woman's college by that name as well.
There is in Guelph, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
By the same man who was a tobaccoist. And he was very restrictive about smoking in the buildings. So that went back a long way.
Wow.
And so after I graduated...
Yes, go ahead.
After I graduated in 44 from McGill, I worked for about 2 years in a chemistry laboratory in Ottawa at the Central Experimental Farm.
Talking about Ottawa, Canada.
Yes.
Now the city of Ottawa?
Yes.
Which is also the province of Ottawa.
It is the capital of Canada.
Right, yeah.
Yes. And it's in Ontario.
Oh, okay.
And my family, my father's family, had a farm in Quebec, which was just 15 miles north of the city on the Ottawa River. And that was one reason why we went to McDonald College. It was like going to a state school where you got a certain benefit on your tuition if you held property.
Right. And so you were in school together with Ed?
With my older brother.
Oh, your older brother was in school with Ed.
Yeah, with me.
With you, oh.
Yes. Then after I had worked for a year or two, I decided I wanted to do graduate work, and I went to Cornell. And that was in the spring of '46. And that fall, I met Ed. He had come back from the war. His father had died, and he was back on campus to finish his PhD. And I met him then, and then in 1947, on November the 1st, we were married in Canada, in the little Anglican church in Aylmer, Quebec.
Now, you were born in Canada, all this...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was Canadian through and through, although at that time, there was no such thing as a Canadian citizenship. I was a member of the British Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And now, of course, there is such a thing as Canadian citizenship.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that.